Richard, thank you very much. It is an honor to be here, and the important work that you and your colleagues did to make this happen. I was honored to put pen to paper back in 2001, Robert, when we authorized that legislation for this monument. You think about it, you know, it's been that long. It went by in a hurry. But if anything's worth doing, it's worth doing right. And let me just say to Armando Hinojosa, you did it right, sir. You did it right. Now, I don't know much about art, but I know what I like. And today, this important monument, it joins the ages on these beautiful grounds in front of this magnificent Capitol building. I think the most magnificent Capitol in the United States. The fact that we are here today is a testament to the vision of Dr. Barrera. And he toured these grounds one day in 2000, and he realized that there was something missing. We're here today because of the talent and the skill of Mr. Hinojosa, who fashioned from metal and stone a reflection of how we began, a culture, a state, and where we are together headed, filling the gaps between inspiration and dedication. We're here today because of the immense long hours of hard work put in by those who believed that this monument was long past due. And that is a full list of contributors, and it could run for pages. Legislators who first introduced the bill, the staffers who figured out how to make it happen, to those who kept laboring as we worked on all of the details, including just where this monument was going to eventually stand. Governor, I think it looks great, right where you put it. Listen, it was the Preservation Board, the Historical Commission, the Texas Commission on the Arts, they all played a very important role, and I commend everyone involved for a job exceptionally well done. This is an important monument because it reflects a larger truth about the origins of Texas, about the contributions of so many Hispanic citizens to the creation of this state that we love, the lives that we share. These contributions are ongoing, with the Latinos providing political and business and spiritual leadership in communities throughout Texas. And these contributions will continue as younger generations are inspired by the examples of those of you who are going today and those of you who went before you, as they move into their place to mark our state and the world that they inherit. That's particularly important in a state where roughly a third of our citizens identify themselves as Hispanic, making them part of what is Texas' largest demographic group within this decade. As I've said before, the future of Texas is tied directly to the future of our Hispanic population. And I believe we have a glorious future ahead of us as a state. We have a glorious future. Because no matter the color of your skin, the sound of your last name, and no matter where your parents originally came from, we all have much in common. We share the desire for safe neighborhoods for our families, for the opportunity to succeed based on our own merit. We share the core values of family, of faith, of hard work. Hispanic children, as always, had the benefit of a wide range of role models to inspire them. They can look up and see the first Latina Secretary of State, Hope Andrade, the first Latina on the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, Elsa Alcala. They can look on this stage and see the first Latina of the Texas Supreme Court, Justice Eva Guzman. They can aspire to be the next chancellor of the University of Texas, Francisco Figueroa. They can aspire to be, as this young Jones County boy, the Bishop Jose Vasquez, and lead in that spiritual way. They can see Commissioner Andres Alcantar at the Texas Workforce Commission, or Elaine Mendoza at Texas A&M University's Board of Regents. And that doesn't even scratch the surface. But there are role models everywhere. Every day, Hispanic Texans are presiding in boardrooms. They are providing solace and spiritual guidance in churches. They're teaching boys and girls in our classrooms everywhere. They're walking the beat, keeping our neighborhoods safe. They're holding rifles in defense of our freedoms in Afghanistan and other hot spots in this world. They're running towards the flames to protect their citizens as firemen, just like the early Texas settlers of Spanish and Mexican descent that are depicted behind us. They're doing the job that needs to be done, carving a life for themselves, ensuring a better life for others. Once again, I'm honored to be here today. I'm honored to be here representing what I consider to be the greatest state in the nation, peopled by the most wonderful citizens that could be imagined, and offer thanks from a grateful state to the citizens who have made today possible. God bless you, and through you, may God continue to bless the great state of Texas. Thank you.
We have on the right at the top an explorer. We have Unveiling the Explorer, the Bailly family. For video. The Explorer. Where's Porfirio? Are they ready? We have then the family group being unveiled by the descendants of the De Leon family that founded Victoria, who in 1689 with Captain General Alonso de Leon brought the first cattle and brought the first families into Texas, unveil the family statue. We've asked the Navarro family, who played so critical a role in the founding of Texas. John, are they ready, the Navarro? Tell me when they're ready. The Navarro family, the descendants of Jose Antonio Navarro, the founders of Texas, among the founding families of San Antonio de Béjar, descendants of the signer of the Texas Declaration of Independence. Not only a congressman, but Jose Antonio Navarro always advocated and defended Tejano rights. It is therefore fitting then that the Navarro family unveil the Texas Longhorn. Are they ready? Are they ready, John? Therefore, we have asked also the direct descendants of the Guerra family. The Guerra family, who were so important when they came with Escandon in the 1700s, they founded, along with the other Spanish explorers and families and colonists, they founded the North American ranching industry. They received their porciones along the Rio Grande del Norte. They established Las Villas del Norte. And as we said earlier, they still live in the Rio Grande Valley. Many of them, like Dr. Barrera, our own Tejano Monument president, still lives on his ancestral porcion land grants in the Rio Grande. They still are ranchers, It is therefore fitting that we have asked the direct descendants of the Guerra family to unveil the Texas Longhorn Bull. Unveil the bull. Little girls played a major role. Little girls were not only family members, they worked alongside the rest of the family in a Tejano family. They had responsibilities. Many times I have read in the archives that these little girls would leave the ranch house and go way, way down to the river to bring water for the family. They took care of the small animals. They cared for the sheep that would make Texas and Tejano sheep in the 1880s the world's leading sheep industry exporter out of Corpus Christi. It is therefore fitting then that we have young ladies that you have before you unveil the statue of the Tejana girl. Unveil it, girls. And the young boys, a young Tejano also had responsibilities. He had to work. He had to care for the tougher animals. He had to care for the goats, the rams. They remind us that Tejanos also brought the wool and mohair industry that we have in Texas today. A young boy, a young Tejano, worked the goats, but he always dreamt that if he worked hard someday, they would reward him as the remudero and allow him to work cattle. And he would be the vaquero then on horseback. That is why today we have unveiling the statue of a boy with a goat. The young boys today unveil the statue. We have said all along that this could not have happened without the legislators. And I want to tell you that not only did they vote for every bill that we proposed, that our legislators put forward, they voted unanimously. There was never an opposition vote on any Senate committee. Our representatives and our senators made it very, very clear that the legislature knew, as Senator Zaffarini told her committee, I'm glad you voted for the Tejano Monument, because if you hadn't, nothing else was going to get through her committee. It is therefore fitting that when our historians wrote the text for the plaques, there are 5 plaques in bronze, each of them telling in 400 words the story of a different period of Tejano history. Tejanos under Spain, Tejanos under the Mexican flag, Tejanos in the Republic of Texas. These plaques were written by distinguished historians like Dr. Felix Almaraz, here in the audience today, Dr. Gilberto Hinojosa, Dr. Carolina Castillo-Krim, wave Carolina, and the late and wonderful Jack Jackson. I hope Jack's family is here today. They are. Thank you for coming. And you will read now the words of Jack Jackson and the others as the legislators now unveil the Tejano plaques. Richard? Oh. And now, I'm going to give up the mic because I want to be in on the next one.
Thank you, Dr. Tijerina. Now for the final unveiling The Tejano Monument Board of Directors and its advisory board will step up to the play music. Where's that music? Let's give them a big round of applause. Tejano Monument Board of Directors and its advisory board. Grab a hold of the rope. Doctor, tell me when we're ready. Renato, tell me, are we ready? Are we ready? Not yet. We got a drum roll. We ready? Unveil the vaquero.